They had some backup parts, and I was doing backup parts, and the engineer kept telling me, you're too loud, you're too loud. You gotta back up, you gotta back up. So we were doing like 3 or 4 part singing. Chris might have even been in there, maybe. And so we're all around one central mic. I didn't want to do separate channels or whatever. We were doing it on one central mic. So we'd start out all the same. And he kept telling me, Susie, you need to back up. You need to back up. What's wrong?
That just doesn't sound right.
So I kept backing up. You need to back up. You're too loud. So we tried again. You need to back up again. You're too loud. So I'm way at the other end of the room. And Jeff and Kevin and Chris are way over at the other end of the room around this little mic, and I'm still too loud.
Sousa was so loud that we had to put him in the back of the room because he was so loud, and you can still hear him right on front of the tape. It's hilarious. We've got video of that, and hopefully, you'll see that in this show.
Okay, I guess we'll try it.
I'll be there.
I think that's when they started calling me Vavoom, I think. But eventually we worked it out, but it was like, you're still too loud. Could you please just not sing? Just move your mouth, okay? Try that. Move your mouth. That's it. Okay.
You do sound effects?
Not the sound effects.
Okay.
This is we're going to replace that one part that just didn't quite click. There was a part that came in late, and so I'm just going to replay that whole thing.
Okay, but we're not doing the whole track. I mean, we're not doing the whole all the way through.
No, we can stop at certain spots.
Right. So you are punching in.
So
You want to start from the beginning.
yeah, I want to start from the beginning. That's where the first part is. Actually, the first part was okay, wasn't it?
Concentrate on doing that picking pattern while I'm doing my lead. Okay.
Like. I need to. If you could bring up the volume a little bit too, I'd appreciate it. As far as the overall volume, not what I'm playing. I need to hear. Especially for this is all timing.
Look at that
I don't want to get off on it. Zoom!
Wait, zoom? Oh no, we're getting both sides! It's like that scene in, that scene in,
What do you guys want on it?
I like the meat lovers pizza.
One click! Alright. Where's the cameraman anyway? Anything with meat. Thick crust.
I got your meat.
I got your pan, whatever pan meat.
Small, medium, large.
Although Hollander was unsigned at this time, manager John Steele proved time and time again his clout and display of influence in the local area.
Hi, Pizza Hut. Yeah, this is John Steele with Hollander, and we'd like 2 pizza. Oh, what? Credit's no good. What?
The rehearsal room that we were using at the time was an industrial area in Ventura, and Jeff and I would usually ride together to the practice place. The first time I went in there, they opened up this big, just like garage door, and we walked in there and just egg cartons all over the wall.
Most of the shops were like body shops or paint shops or engine shops, stuff like that. Pretty rough type of people hanging out. And parking was always a situation that we got in trouble over because we'd arrived to practice and we had our 2 or 3 spaces, how many we were allotted, They were marked. Everybody had their marked spaces. And we'd come in a lot of times and, somebody had be in our space or whatever. So I remember one time there was no place to park. So I knew the guys' cars that were in our spot belonged to the space next to ours, the building next to ours. So I just parked right in front of their garage door. So that one of the guys comes out and he says, "Hey man," some SA guy comes out, "Hey man, you gotta move your car. Get your car out of here." And so me, instead of being the agreeable fellow that I usually am, decided I wanted to be, not so agreeable. So I tell him, if you didn't park in my spot, I'd have a place to put my car and I wouldn't be in your way. So he goes, "Oh, you want to cost double, hey man?" I'm going, "Oh shoot, here we go." So Dennis, ever the peacemaker, comes out and he goes, "It's okay guys, we don't want to have any trouble. We don't want to fight. We all just want to get along. We'll be okay here." And actually it was a good thing he did, because otherwise I would have got my ass kicked.
I remember this one time, this guy was notorious, the manager. He was a drunk, big fat jerk.
This big, fat, drunk.
Oh man, he was a big pain in the ass.
We were there practicing, and we had a bathroom that we shared. We had a key for the bathroom. It was like a common bathroom, and we had a key. We'd go in there, we'd use the bathroom, which was always in horrible shape. Nobody ever did anything about it.
We lost the key, or someone took it, I don't know, and we couldn't get into the bathroom. Well, when we're rehearsing, we're drinking water and stuff, you gotta go, so.
A couple of the guys in the band needed to go to the bathroom, number one. And so they just go out in the parking lot. I mean, what's the big deal? There's no one around, it's industrial buildings, And
I think it was Kevin and Jeff. I think it was those two. They go over there, they urinate in the trash receptacle area. And it's late at night, and they decide, man, we got to go bat. So they go over there, and they
Sprung a leak in there, and the old man was hiding somewhere, and he saw us.
And from across the alley, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" This guy comes running over, and he's wearing he's got the white trash wife beater on, and I think he was in a pair of boxers. He wasn't even dressed, had one shoe on. I mean, this guy.
And we just booked it. We ran into the rehearsal room like a couple of schoolgirls, and we're cowering behind the amps. And we're just sitting there going, "Please don't make him come in. Please don't make him come in. Please don't make him come in." And next thing we knew, bam, 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 bam,
Comes pounding in our bedroom. "Hey, you guys gotta go clean that piss up. I ain't gonna clean that stuff up." And I was just like, oh God.
So he starts yelling at him, and it's like, never mind there's garbage, trash, dog crap, but our urine is going to make it, bad in there. So anyway, he has the sheer balls to tell us to clean it up. And I was inside at the time, but Jeff Sousa's pretty ballsy. I mean, he was just like, "Yeah, right," and walked away from the guy. And I think Jeff Castanon was got caught by surprise and was didn't know what to do.
and I'm just not going to say anything, and the guy will go away.
And she goes, "I saw what you guys are doing over there. I want you to go clean it up." And I'm thinking, oh, this is just great. So
We go out there, and I think I'm just handing Kevin paper towels, man. I'm not cleaning that crap up. So Kevin's down there scrubbing the dirt, cleaning it all up, cleaning all the piss away, and oh man.
And I go out there, I'm like, "What are you doing, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, that guy's pissed. I don't want to get kicked out of here." And I'm like, "What the hell? What are you doing? Get up." I go, "The guy's drunk. He's not even going to remember this in 5 minutes." God.
Put a damper on that rehearsal. We found out sometime later that the guy was stabbed to death. I guess he just yelled at the wrong person. Following the release of Going Up, Hollander decided it was time to take to the big stage. The band headlined a local music night at the Ventura Theater, where they demonstrated their natural ability to perform in front of a live audience.
The show part of the second Hollander, the second generation Hollander, I think was much better because, we added a lot of theatrics to it, and then Kevin, was an amazing keyboard player. His harmony, his vocal harmony is almost. I'll go out on a limb. I almost liked that more than his keyboard playing, and I know a lot of people think, oh, that's it's just a background vocal, but man, he was so good at that and would just nail it every time. They'd get those harmonies that were just a cappella at the end of a song or whatever, and it was there.
Rodale Records, our record company. Yeah, right. Oh boy, we were so desperate to say that we were signed to a record company.
John came to the band room one day after we had practice. He was late for whatever reason. Comes running in, hey guys, we've been signed! And we're like, no, we're signed? You gotta be kidding. And he comes up and goes, we've been signed by Rodale Records. And we're like, huh? What's Rodale Records? He shows this, authentic letter that we got that we were involved, where we were included in this compilation.
They basically said, look, we're going to get you played on these radio stations across the U.S. And, they painted a great picture. And we thought, man, we're in there. Sign with a small label first, and we'll get bought out by a major label. That's how it's done, right? So, okay. So, after the breakdown of all the things they were going to do for us, they said, but we need to have a little contribution on the part of the band monetarily. And we're like, what?
But of course we had to pay $400 to get on the compilation. So I think it was more of a joke than it was a record company. But it was funny because we ended up using Rodale Records as our record label, even though they did nothing for us and we had no contact with them after that compilation.
We wanted to say we were, signed to a label. So hell, we bought our label, I guess.